How you all doing? Ralfy here, Ralfy Customs. Quick vlog, a little bit of machining, a little bit of chopper, and a little bit of bobber. So, we're using this Morse taper tool holder that fits into the quick change, into the Davidson type, branded Davidson, but you know, that sort. To drill it on, basically, through this wheel spacer, engine mount spacer. Yeah, so we set it all up, we know it's at centre right, we know it's right, left and right here, and we can just use it as a power feed to drill out quite big holes if you want to, you know. I mean, this is only little, and I'm running it quite slowly because I don't want to damage the drill bit, obviously. There you go. Hey, so we've got the old chopper man off the bench, just putting the back wheel in. I need to make some washers for the spindle. I'm going to make some nice stainless ones, and I'm going to use the Morse taper tool holder and the power feed again on nice and slow, just to bore them out, because that's how we roll. Go. So what I'll do, I'll bore these out to 12mm clearance for the spindle. Back that out and put a bit of lube on it. I might as well take this all the way through, I guess, and then part off some washers, say 3 or 4mm thick, just to finish the spindles off nicely. I bet that's plenty. Let me just take this out, and I'll put the very edge of the drill just into the hole, set the DRO on 0, and let's see how deep we are. We want 4 at 3mm, that's 12mm, plus 3 cuts is 9mm, 21mm. Oh, we're well past that, look. Fucking hell, we're nearly 30mm in. We've got enough for plenty of washers. There we go. We've touched on and moved down 6, which is 3 for the part and 3 for the tool. I'm going to engage the power feed, and hopefully this will all go according to plan. Look at that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to back that out, grab the file, hold on. It's all a bit odd to do filming and one-handed. Break that edge, because there'll be a bit of a devil to deburr once the cut to length, like. Cut to length, yeah, cut to length. So anyway, let's have this one off. And just do it nicely. Here we go. Back for another cut. All smoke doubling, isn't it? And we'll pop that off. Boom, sorted. Wind that out and repeat. Okay, so now you join me over at the milling machine, obviously. What we've done, we've put it all together, and we've realised that this is one of the uprights. Look, this is one of these front uprights, and where it goes through to the plate, it fouls, just fouls on the corner of this hub. So I'm looking at squeezing a little bit out of it. I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch, so 3mm, maybe 1/4 of an inch, up to about here, and that should give us the clearance we need. That's an 1/8 thou cut, 2mm, little bit of mist on there, little bit of spray, just to keep everything sweet. I don't know what the forks are made out of. I would like to think that they're slightly tougher than regular mild steel, like, an EN3 or even an EN8 or whatever, I don't know. Got no idea, but the machining okay. So there you go, we'll take a few passes, 4mm maybe take a little skim off the bush that the bolt goes through, trim the end off the bolt and get back together. We're over at the lathe, aren't we? I'm going to take a little skim off this oil-like bush. Just a wee bit. I'm going to take a teeny weeny little skim. You know, because we still need a bush in there so that the plate behaves. But we're trying to grab a little bit of clearance. I think that'll do us alright. And now we're going to do the same with the bolt. So I'm just going to touch on that. And zero my DRO. Now I took 4mm off the leg with the milling machine, and I've just took 2mm off the bush, so I'm going to make this 6mm shorter, plus a little bit because it did poke through a little bit. We don't need that, so 6.5mm thereabouts, based on the DRO. And all I'm going to do is feed it in a millimetre. I'll go half a mil first, see how it goes, because I'm not sure the material. Oh, that's lovely. Nothing wrong with that, is there? So we'll go again 1.5mm, so that's a 1mm cut now. Right the way through to the centre, and so on and so forth. And there she is, in all the glory. Oh, sorry for the back camera. So, fucking, she's got some length to her. You can see there, look, where I took a piece out and put the shim down so that this misses, and it only just fucking misses. I've also poked the tubes, not tubes, the rear legs through a machine to go through a bit further to give us a bit more height. Might need a little bit more. If it does, it'll have to go in the lathe and be turned around to go through the yokes. But she's looking pretty. Looking nice and pretty. So, a quick recap on the old Triumph. What we've done, we've made a rear wheel spindle. Excuse me. We made a rear spindle that fits the slots of the frame. We made spacers, washers, and we've made adapters to step down from the 25mm Davidson, Harley Davidson even, bearings to the 19mm spindle. So, job there. We've mounted the engine. We've cut out and milled some nice engine plates. We've added another member to the frame. We made spacers for that to match up to the existing, and held that in nicely. We've also done a swooping headsteader with a countersunk that will take an Allen bolt. So that's mounted the engine nicely, and then we've come to the front end, which we've reworked a little. Again, we've made a 25mm spindle that steps down to go through these oil-like bushings in the plates on the end of the forwards to keep it as it is, so we can have matching. And we've made spacers and stainless washers for that. But then we came in and took some out of this leg to miss the wheel, give the oil-like bushing a little bit of a skim off to sort that out, and finally we've pushed the rear legs up as far as they'll go to give us a bit more of an angle on that bottom plate to give us a bit more height so that she sits pretty. There you go. And that's a try. And we finally got back on the wedges from my frame jig for the headstock. If you saw my earlier vlog, let me put some oil on that actually, you'll have seen that I'm making some wedges. I've been setting up. I can actually move that light out of the way, it's a bit glary. And we're using that Morse taper tool holder, and it'll quick change again. Fucking brilliant. Let's just set it running up. There you go. And it's feeding away, nice and steady. You have to take a little bit of time to set it up, make sure it's central to the job, although often you're going to bore the hole out anyway, so it's not over crucial. Again with these, it's not over crucial. It's just going to make a taper that wedges itself into the headstock of a frame, so kind of self-centralising really. Oh, we're back on the old Triumph bobber. This is going to be this week's main player. Look at it, it's like a fucking disemboweled alien sitting there upside down, bless it. One of the joys I'm having already, apart from the confusion of where everything goes, this is the most complicated part. Once we get the wiring loom and the brake hoses and everything that sits in this space in place, it's all downhill from there. It's all plain sailing. What I'm struggling with now is fitting these, if it will focus. These go in the engine mounts and the swing arm mount, like this one. I've got one in, look. And they're just the slack, and they're on a really fine thread in there. And I said to the powder coater, whatever you fuck up, don't fuck up them threads, because I can't cut them threads. And so far, I've gone through with a wire brush to try and get out any remnants of nastiness, and I'm really struggling to get everything started. So you may recall I made this tool. I've since found out that they do actually make a tool for it that looks just like that pretty much. I've just welded a big nut on there so I can spanner these in and out to clean the threads up. So that's the rest of this week's jolly. Well, that's what it's going to entail. You've seen me get this Triumph up on its wheels, and there'll be a series on rebuilding this bobber, all being well. So there you go, that really concludes this quick catch up. A little bit of machining, a little bit of chopper work, a little bit of bobber work. I've also posted up one that went missing, so check that out. If you'd be kind enough to look in the description and follow my friends, give us a like, give us a sub, click the notification, and have a great day. Okay, so great stinking steaming holes, Batman. Swoofy fucking curly whirlies everywhere. So now we're going to do the taper. We're just going to duplicate what I've already got, but make this bit longer so it goes thinner. And probably this parallel bit will be, I don't know, at least as wide as the jaws, because I'm not going back into the fucking jaws, am I? But that would still make this, let's have a guesstimate, twice the length, maybe? Right, all I've done to get the angle, I've measured it. I've got it at 35 degrees compound with a protractor, which means 17.5 degrees on the old scale there. And I double checked, did a sanity check by putting the taper bit along the compound and then looking over the edge and seeing whether it lined up, yeah, with a cross slide. In this case, it fucking does. Start to show on camera. And that is at 17.5 degrees, which will give us 35 degree taper. So set the tool back to being square in the holder, and we're going to compound across, making some chips. What I have, and I think most people have, is that they don't use the compound slide very often, so it tends to set the gibs a bit stiff, you know, for parting off and getting a good finish on general work. And when it comes to doing shit like this, there's no power feed on it, so you end up with sore hands, mate. Anyway, we'll keep doing that. Get that out of the way. We could take some quite heroic cuts off this with this tool, I believe. We save ourselves a shit ton of time. So we're coming up on the last pass. Look at all these blue fucking... Look, this is so... It's not pretty because it's made of special stuff. It's pretty because it's got fucking hot. And some of these tiny little chips have made me resort to wearing the full PPE. I'd like short sleeves on a machine, but fuck that. I'm stood well back, I'm nowhere near the spinny roundy bits, and I'm sick to death of these fucking teeny weeny little fucking red hot like fucking miniature fucking bullets they are. If you oil it up, you think they cool down a bit, and they don't. They just smoke as they come sizzling and sticking behind your watch strap. I know you shouldn't wear a watch, but that's healthy reasons. We needed to monitor just lately. Well, for the rest of, so I need to get used to that shit. Anyway, last pass. Gonna take a flying cut. Got a bit of oil on there, just for effect really, because it's fucking blocked. And here we go. Windy. It's about as fast as I can go at the end of the fucking day, and one of these might be enough for today. We'll see. Yeah, that it is. I found if I go as fast as I can and take an aggressive cut, the finish is better, as per quite hard steel and carbide bits, you know. Normal. Anyway, this is gonna have to fucking do it. Here we go. 14. And that finish is actually fucking good, all things considered. And you can see the end's quite a bit smaller. Yeah. Compare the two. So this will go into the smaller headstocks, or ones that have already got bearing races in. That restricts it down a little bit. One down, one to go. Yeah. We'll get that out of its fucking red hot. Yeah, we'll leave that in a minute. Use the glove down. There you go. Sorted. There's the old one. And there's the new one. You can see the difference there. Nice one.